everyone. Hi, this is Liz Deal, and I'm here really to share with you my story about cancer and CBD. Um, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, breast cancer. And at that moment in my life, it was certainly not something that I was expecting. I found the lump myself, and but knew when I found it what it was, even though I had to go through the diagnosis state. And when I first really heard that that's what I had, it was like, I know for many people, they just want to say, well, cut it out, fix me so I can move on to the way my life has always been. And for me, it was, I want to know why I got this and what did I do to deserve this and why me? And so when that came about, it really gave me pause for thinking about my life and my past life and what I had done and how I was going to move forward and what would my future look like. Fortunately, I never did have the feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I really had a positive outlook that okay, let me figure out why I got this and how can I move forward. And so in looking at my past, I had to realize that, I was a Diet Coke-aholic for many years, and I consumed all of that aspartame. And I know that wasn't good for me at all. So that could have had a factor to it. In the late 90s, I broke my back and filled my body with inflammation. So that could have been a factor. I mean, when that happened, it took me almost 10 months before I could actually roll over in bed. So my health, I was not serving my body, and my health was kind of deteriorating, and things were not looking up for me. And so when I was diagnosed with cancer, I really had time to say, okay, so what am I going to do? How am I going to make a difference? And fortunately, I went cold turkey on Diet Coke. It took a supplement, a great antioxidant supplement, in order to do that, because obviously my body was looking for something, because I was so addicted to Diet Coke and caffeine. And so I got off of that, and that was an awesome undertaking because I had tried for many years. So that was positive. And then I just tried to start shifting what I was taking in order to make this plan better. I decided that I was so turned off by the typical Western protocol that I really wanted to find a natural way to have a solution to my problem and my cancer. So I did go through with a lumpectomy, but then I declined everything else that Western protocol was to give me. And I felt like I had really cleaned up my life, cleaned up my nutrition. But in 2012, in just a matter of a few months, my cancer came back with a vengeance. I mean, it went from nothing to the size of a baked potato. And I had to make a decision. My kids were really the catalyst, because they kept saying, Mom, we want you to do whatever you need to do in order to still be around. And I could get that, but I was struggling internally and in my mind, because I just did not believe in the Western protocol plan. In January of 2013, I fell and I shattered my elbow. And actually, I felt so good when I did that, because my doctor said, wow, now that you've broken your elbow, you can't do chemo because your elbow will never heal. And it was kind of like the best words I could hear. I was thinking, oh my gosh, yay, I don't have to make this decision now. And for me, that was so important. So it gave me a few months of relief, not having to worry about it and make that decision, which I was having such a terrible time making a decision. So then I had to go through surgery, have plates, pins, screws put in my elbow to repair it, because I had totally shattered the olecranon. And I went back to the orthopedic surgeon at 6 weeks. And when he was looking at my x-ray and my chart, and he said to me, wow, it looks like we can take all of your hardware out. And I said, really? I said, you had told me it would take 3 or 4 months before we could take out the hardware. And he said, well, how long's it been? And I said, well, it's been 6 weeks. And he goes, no way. He said, wow, with that, he said, do you realize you're in the 90th percentile of joint mobility and recovery? Well, that really had to sink in. And as I was leaving his office that day, I thought, wow, here I am. I had passed the 60-year-old mark. I was in full-blown cancer in my body. And yet I was in the 90th percentile of joint mobility and recovery. So at that moment, I knew that it was a big deal that I had been giving my body massive amounts of antioxidants and greens and aloe and mushrooms and everything that I could think of in order to heal my body and to make my journey easier. And so also that day, I realized that because the body is a miracle, that I could go through Western protocol, I could go through chemo, I could go through radiation, and I would plow through it and do just fine and just support my body, support my immune system the entire way. So that was my mission from that day on. And a few months later, I started the chemo process. And I have to say, it's not just, it is tough. And my mantra became, in my head, to myself, my mantra became, I am a champion because I know how to get up. I am resilient because I know how I can get up. And it's a day-to-day process to be able to get up each day and go through what many of us have to go through in this cancer journey. And it was not easy. There were days that were not easy. But if I kept in my own mind saying, I am a champion because I know how to get up, I could get up every day and do what I needed to do so that I could move beyond that. So since that time, I have really tried to keep on top of cutting edge stuff, what's going on, what can I do to help support my body so that I can feel better, so that I don't have that cancer coming back again for a third time. I'm not planning on that. And one of the beautiful things that I have really discovered is CBD, which is non-psychoactive oil from the hemp plant, not marijuana, which I really wasn't sure. And I think there's a confusion out there in the world. So once I realized how much CBD does for our entire body, we have an entire endocannabinoid system that has receptors, CB1 and CB2 receptors on our white blood cells that help bring our body into balance and into homeostasis. And when I realized that, I thought, wow, I need to be taking CBD. I need to optimize that part of my health, which I had not been doing. And so I have been working on that steadily now, seeing some amazing results. I'm suffering with lymphedema, which is the lymphatic fluid building up in my arm because, of course, they took most of my lymph nodes. And so my body doesn't have a natural way to filter the fluid and move it on through my system. So I've had to go through the massage, the physical therapy, the wraps, the compression sleeves, all of that. And I've never had great success with it. But boy howdy, since I started on CBD and then went through this whole thing again with the physical therapist, I'm having amazing results. So I know in my heart and my body is showing me that things are happening and that we do have a way that we can keep supporting our body. And when we support our body, we're also supporting our soul and our mind and everything that we have. So I'm here to share that with you. I invite you personally to join me in my closed Facebook group. It's called Endo Wellness, ENDO Wellness, Endo for internal, within. And so it's a safe place for people to come and to share, to support, to help find solutions for the questions that we all are asking around this journey on cancer. So look me up on Facebook and in that group, and I hope to chat with you more. Have a wonderful day. Bye.